Hello there, commanders, and welcome back to National Cup, where the second battle of the last match of round 4 between Poland and Spain. And Spain lost the last battle. They're still ahead in the standings. They were pretty close to victory, but the Polish team outmaneuvered them and captured their base in the end. I guess I just spoiled the battle if you haven't watched it. But why you're watching the second battle without watching the first one? That is a very good question to ask, I guess. Anyway, let's see what they're up to. So, seems like the Spanish elected to go Oasis in the previous battle, and so now we are on Rubicon. That is the Polish go-to map, it seems so. So, the Polish team managed to win on the Spanish map. Let's see if the Spanish can also turn around it here for themselves against the Polish choice. Both teams heavily investing here on the cliff side, or on the waterfall side, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see here in the vineyards. Both teams are also sending 2-3 players over there, but mostly here on the left flank. See, there's a unit over there, but not much. Let's see, repeating crows was over here for the Spanish, and not a single ranged unit for the Polish team. And they're saying ranged meta? Nah, that's not for us. That doesn't exist, that's just a myth. And let's see how that works out for them. Hannibal Blob versus Hannibal Blob over here. I'm just assuming these are Hannibal Blobs. And yep, they are. So that is interesting, as both players are just trying to pull through each other. Yep. Another Hasdrubal spearmen are coming in. The Carthaginian spearmen tend to be very popular here on the tier 6, as they're being picked with both Hannibal and Hasdrubal, as the rules don't allow both of them to be on the same commander. Now the Spanish cavalry is going to contest the... okay, and don't contest, I guess. And the repeating crows, let's see what they are able to do here. Are they able to flex and say that the ranged meta is actually real? Well, the Polish Hannibal spearmen are almost dead, as they have been surrounded over here. They have a lot of the Spanish have a lot of reinforcements, and well, the healing zone is still pretty far away. So as the battle is happening somewhat in the middle between the healing zones, they now contested, so a little bit less teams, little bit less points for the Polish team. The Polish team is also contesting B here with the cavalry against elephants, so that's obviously not going to go down quickly. But the Polish team has infantry units advantage over here, so slowly but surely, but they will be able to kill those elephants eventually. But there are 3 elephants. They will be to the healing zone, so elephants won't be able to heal. Let's just see how much time they can buy for the Spanish team to win over on this flank. As the Spanish, they're going for pretty much a very similar strategy. Why the hell are you advancing? Why are you not healing? You're barely alive, and there's still a lot of Polish forces over here. Yep, your counterpart has just healed up over here. I mean, respawned, because he died. So save your XP that you gained by killing him. You're not leveled up yet. Why are you throwing that away? Okay, this is some questionable moves by the Spanish team, but okay, maybe it's just sort of an escort for the repeating crossbows, but I don't see that happening. Okay, well, we do have some Spanish units, melee units, that are a little bit healthier. There are not that many of them, and the forces that the Polish team has just responded, there are only 5 units over here, but they're all full HP, and they should be enough to hold D, really, unless the Spanish team can find some outplace. Another 3 has just respawned, another player who has died has respawned over here, and now the Spanish, they're not winning this. They're definitely not winning this. They need to heal up themselves, get some reinforcements in. They have elected to respawn their forces in the base. They're going to reinforce B, as the elephants there are slowly, very slowly dying. Folks are trying to heal up over here. Well, so they're sending triple Hannibal spears into B to help with all of that Polish infantry that's over there. That may be difficult. They could be routed. I mean, then again, it's Hannibal, so determination and blob phalanx. Yeah, it's very hard to flank, as opposed to what you may think. So that's kind of counterintuitive. However, the Polish team here is pushing the Spanish out of D. D is no longer contested. The repeating crossbow still doing pretty nice damage over here, but that's pretty much all they can do. They cannot really push in the point. They cannot provide the pressure, and the pressure is slowly fading away as all the melee units are dying for the Spanish team and feeding XP to the Polish. C is going to unlock in 10 seconds, and the Polish team isn't really going to contest that. Cavalry is now going there for the Polish team, but, well, Cavalry versus Spears doesn't really have the best chances. An elephant is still holding point B, another one will heal up, respawn another one. Yeah, so the Spanish team is now definitely going to hold B despite a huge Polish advantage over here, and now they are forced to retreat all the way back to E and heal up. So that is definitely good for the Spanish team, but now they may have overcommitted over here. So, in order to fix that overcommitment and actually capitalize on it, they need to chase those units and prevent them from healing. But the Spanish cavalry isn't over here, it is here on the left flank. And they have just gotten A back capped. Okay. Yep. They have overcommitted over here. They tried to capture the point that they had no chance of capturing. They ran out of infantry. They didn't leave infantry over here. Or if they did, it was surrounded and killed by Foxmen. After all, Foxmen are very good at defeating singular units. They're very good at flanking. And well, they do have oath cavalry in here, so it is going to buy just a little tiny bit of time. But yeah, this battle isn't really looking good for the Spanish. They did manage to get on top of C, but the Polish team actually got infantry over there. It can be flanked and routed. I mean, there's one flank applied, so that's not enough. They need another one. And well, the cavalry here for the Polish team is obviously oathed, and a lot of more infantry is coming in. Hasdrubal, Spears. After that comes in, Poland is going to hold on to C, and now they control 4 out of 5 points, getting really quickly ahead of the Spanish team. So, Spanish are now pushing into E, and the Polish team has respawned a little bit of their units, or healed up those that were attacking B. And now Spanish are looking to launch quite a big counter-attack. They do have 2 elephants, but elephants are much better at just defending the points rather than capturing them, or just contesting them when the capture is not going to go through, just to deny points. But we'll see how the Spanish team utilizes them here, but I think putting elephants here on the left flank would have been a much better idea. The repeating crossbows for the Spanish team are going to die and feed XP to the Polish team, as we see some of the units have leveled up for the Polish. Another unit of swords here cut down by the Foxmen. And the dogs have been sent into C, but the handlers will probably not even make it inside to contest, as the last spear unit is going to get surrounded and routed. There we go. C is now fully in control of the Polish team, has no longer contested, but Scipio cavalry is coming in. It will be able to oath inside, but being so surrounded by a lot of high damage infantry, yeah, they're not going to last. Also, they overcharged and actually are not inside the point, so C is not even going to be contested. Let's look at E, as the Spanish team has an advantage over there. They have managed to rout 2 Polish infantry units, doing really nicely for themselves. An elephant is looking to maybe delay this infantry from getting in, to buy the time for the cavalry and infantry to prevent them from getting in. The storm comes out too late, but the infantry has managed to get in time anyway. Now the last unit they need to rout are those Foxmen, and probably these swords as well. Can they do it? 7 morale left, they need another flank. But E capture is actually going through. This unit is no longer inside, no longer contesting. The spears are pushing through though, but they're going to suffer quite a lot of damage for doing so. They're getting surrounded and routed as well. Yep, 2 side flanks are enough. Those are most likely provided by by the Foxmen, as they have the highest morale damage in the game, I believe. So there we go. E is going to be flipped for the Spanish team, and now it's 2 to 3 points. Still Polish quite ahead in points, almost 1,000 points ahead. But the Spanish are trying to get back into the game. Now they're launching a frontal attack onto C, combined with a flanking attack with the forces that they have just captured E with. The Polish team needs to retreat and heal up the units that they have lost, but those weren't that many. And the central force of the Spanish team is also being flanked by the Polish team's forces coming from A. Also, they're healing and spawning on C, so they will be able to find the gaps in the Spanish formation And yeah, those repeating crossbows are under a lot of pressure. Can't even get enough damage in time to, you know, even make their value. The Spanish team is forcing a lot of units over there, trying to keep them alive, and they do for the most part for the time being, but the Polish cavalry is still preying in the area, and there's not many more Spanish melee units that are able to prevent them from charging in, but, well, they're the Polish units that are preventing the Polish cavalry from charging in, so really doing a service there for the Spanish team. They still have AFK infantry over here that could collapse, and just look at it, yeah, you have ranged units, so what? We have more melee units, we can just force you in, close your range units out, and there we go. That's the value that range units bring. Not much. Not much, I can tell you that. Especially against such a infantry force. So very nicely played there by the Polish team. They're using their advantage, their melee advantage, to their advantage, surrounding the enemy and slowly routing them one by one, completely neutralizing the repeating crossbows, and after the repeating crossbows are neutralized, they're essentially 8v7. Well, minus the elephants and cavalry, I guess, but the cavalry also can apply flanks after all, and Warcry is a very good tool. And yeah, the Spanish elephants are not able to really do much. They can obviously get inside the blobs and start doing good AoE damage as they do. But the Polish team is equipped with counters to elephants, such as Hannibal Spears over here, for example. Or even the Folksmen that can hamstring them and make them much slower, make it easier for other infantry to cut them down. Sula, maybe not the best. Germanicus would be useful, but I don't think the Polish team has a single Germanicus. Now here, flank from from the Foxes. Flank and not flank, really this unit doesn't feel like being flanked. But the Polish team is slowly but surely clearing out the Spanish team. The Spanish will be able to just get an elephant on top of sea and start contesting it, or keep contesting it for the time being, buying themselves some time to heal up and respawn over here at the base and launch another attack. The flanking really didn't work for them. Why does flanking didn't work for the Spanish team? Because they don't have more melee units. So in a scenario of flanking and extended front lines where there are a lot of gaps in both formations, the Polish team, they don't have anything vulnerable, they don't have anything they need to protect, and they also have more melee units that they're able to exert pressure with and then collapse onto the vulnerable ranged units of the Spanish team. And as the Spanish team has fewer melee units, there's 7 melee players, melee infantry players for the Polish team, while there's only 5 for the Spanish, and one of them is dogs as well. So yeah, Spanish team's front lines are much weaker than the Polish teams, and that team is simply not very well equipped to even protect the ranged units. And obviously here the healing zone for the Polish in a very convenient spot. The Spanish cannot really deny it. I mean, they could send an elephant over there, but it would most likely die very quickly. The repeating crossbows can also reach there if they have the vision. Let's see. Yeah, that's Guan Yu. I get it, Guan Yu, you want to be close to the front lines, you're providing God of War, right? It is good. God of War is a good buff to provide, especially since you're not playing any Chinese glaze or whatever that could provide God of War. So I get the choice, but for example, in this scenario, you could have just used Sight of the Dragon and denied the healing for quite a long time. But that is not going to happen. Polish Foxes have managed to pull through, find a gap and get onto the repeating crossbows, and the repeating crossbows are not splitting up, they're not running away now, they have been hamstrung. And can the Foxes be routed? Obviously one rear flank is not enough to rout them, and even more Polish infantry is closing in on the repeating crossbows. Spanish though recaptured A, and I have completely missed that. I was going on a rant of how the Spanish composition doesn't really make sense. But it made enough sense to recapture A. Already the Polish team, as they went everything back to C, they have simply left A undefended. They sent their units away from A to collapse onto the repeating crossbows, which repeating crossbows are still in pretty good health, so that's very good for the Spanish. A little bit of a misplay there for the Polish team. And I have also given A for free. The Spanish team are sending the cavalry to possibly contest D, but now it has been stopped AFK. They're sending the cavalry onto the healing zone behind C. That's really good. Foxmen to follow. But the cavalry is going to be stopped by foxes. I mean, they're just gonna walk through and suffer a lot of damage. Now, triple hamstring. That's a little bit too much, but whatever. It still does the job of, I guess, slowing them down and preventing them from denying the healers over here. Now the Spanish are looking pretty good over here. The repeating crossbows, now that they are safe and now that the Polish team has run out of steam of the pressure, now the repeating crossbows can show a little bit of their value and start dishing out some nice damage. That cavalry suffered a lot of damage, charges straight into Foxman, well, does some damage, but now it can be hamstrung and cut down. The real hamstring is called off perseverance for the cavalry. Let's see, well, the Spanish, they do have 3 points. Now E and C are contested. The point gain is 2.2 per second for the Spanish team, more than 1 point per second for the Polish. And as it is right now, if this held until the very end, then the Spanish team will win just ever so slightly. Now 3.3 as the E contest has been lifted. The Polish team units routed in here, but still one more that is not routed. This one is obviously going to go back sooner or later. And the contest for C is still going on. And Spanish are actually pushing and pushing. As long as they can properly deny the healing zone. They need vision. They do have vision provided here by the cavalry, but it is about to die. It should still be enough, but it's just suffered a lot of damage. Oh, Scorch Earth being thrown very nicely. That is going to deny healing for quite some time, but there's still some space left. But the repeating crosses are very close to the healing zone. They can deny all the healing they can, as long as they have vision, as the cavalry is about to die. The repeating crosses are forced back. Ooh, they just went back into the charge. They were dodging it, but they said like, oh no, I'm about to go forward into the cavalry charge. Okay, the Spanish are now sending the elephants to deny the healing in the place of the cavalry, or to provide the vision for the repeating crossbows. And there's only one healthy unit for the Polish team left on top of C. So if the Spanish are able to capture it, then it would be 4 points for the Spanish. And as we go into the late game, slowly but surely, as the Polish team is only 1,000 points away from victory, that is going to be very good position for the Spanish team to be in. But the Polish team is sending 3 more healthy units inside C. C has been captured a little bit for a very short while, as the spears are just pushing out that one sword unit. Now they can be charged in the rear, but the cavalry is looking to stay inside, although it doesn't really need to, as a lot of infantry is getting in. But one of them got routed, and if they can repeat that, the Spanish team can repeat that for more and more units, that would be very good for them. This sword unit has been dealt with, so the spears are now pushing back into C again. Hannibal blob memes, but it is going against Caesar. The solar possibly would be better. That's over here. Spanish team repeating crossbows are still in a sort of alright shape. Have more than half of their soldiers, but 3 blobs of Polish infantry are getting inside C. Well, one of them is trying to sneak around, trying to go to A maybe. A is now undefended completely, but as long as they hold just the hand on the pulse and keep this Polish team at bay and they see all the players, there is no threat. Now the Polish team is getting 0 points per second. Spanish are catching up to them with the speed of 3.3 points per second. C probably not going to be captured. The Polish team has respawned a lot of infantry blobs over here, and the Spanish team has run out of steam, and there are no reinforcements inside. Cavalry trying to rush to the base, the healing zone behind C, but there's nothing really there to even deny the healing from, as the Polish team just simply dies and then respawns rather than trying to heal. And that's, I guess, some sort of adaptation from the Polish team. An elephant, very nicely put here on top of D. 3 units for the Polish team. Yeah, sure, they will kill the elephant, and maybe, well, I wonder if they would be able to kill it before the battle ends. Although now it has suffered quite a lot of damage, as it has pulled through a phalanx. And that was not even like intentional, but whatever. The most important thing is that the D point gain is denied. The Polish team is still getting 0 points per second. Those elephants, now they're being utilized to their utmost potential. They are being cut down by Hannibal's spears though, and Foxmen are able to provide hamstring, which means that the elephant will not be able to move. Although the hamstring has not been used for some reason, the elephant has suffered over half of the damage though. So it is forced to retreat, and the Polish team will now get some points from A. And as the Spanish attack onto C has collapsed, now the Polish team is looking to go for some counterattacks. Folksman versus Folksman on top of A, both have thrown their Scorch Earths, and they both have elected to fight inside Scorch Earth. Let's see if that unit can be routed. Iron Discipline Cold, Defiance as well to tank some damage. And the Polish team is contesting A, so a little bit less points per second for the Spanish, and now they're getting points for C. But the Spanish team has also largely closed the gap between the two teams. Nice farm combat, by the way. But anyway, the Austrians are kind of useless being here, but they will not be useless if the Polish team sends reinforcements over there. The question is, the Polish team is sending quite a lot now, that's what they're banking on. They know that at the moment, as the points are looking right now, the Spanish team is going to win. So it's on the Polish team to try to capture something. Also, the elephants are providing a lot of value, just contesting the points here and there. So they will be able to stop the Polish team from getting more points. And it's very good for the Spanish team. Let's see, the elephants are now going to heal up on the base, and there will be 2 healthy elephants going in. But as the Polish team is sending some forces, only 3 units, another 3 units of Folksmen going in, so they're banking a lot on the Folksmen and their speed as well. The Polish team really likes them, and the Spanish team will be able to hold them off here for a little while, but they will probably need an elephant reinforcement. The Folksmen can deal with an elephant, but it won't be that quickly. All 3 elephants now here respawn at the base. Well, they're quite away from E, so they will need to get there as quickly as possible. And they do have a lot of Polish units that will look to intercept them. They are sending the cavalry for the Spanish team. If they can get a route over here with the Scipio cavalry, that will be very, very valuable for them. But they elect against it, and as the Folksmen are closing in. What was that charge? I have no idea. Trying to prevent those Folksmen from getting in. But that doesn't really matter because the swords are already in anyway. Whatever, that's a questionable play. The teams are now only 200 points apart from each other as we are approaching the end of the game. Although we still have quite a ways to go. C is now contested, 1 point per second for the Polish team, 2.2 points per second for the Spanish. As the Polish are now trying to get on top of A, trying to contest it, there'll be 1 unit of spears for the Spanish to defend. They're sending the cavalry onto D, but that cavalry is not going to fare well against against spears. Spanish also trying to deny the Polish kill zone behind C, trying to take it. The Polish team has only one sword unit inside C, the other one is just outside, but triple cavalry is coming in. They will be able to get in and off inside unless they will be stopped by one of the 2 spear units. Another one is coming in as well. Charge coming in, a little bit of a misplay here, but the Spanish not reacting in time, and the cavalry got in and also got in on top of the repeating crossbows, but didn't deal that much damage. So now it will be able to be cleared, but Oath of Perseverance is obviously available, so they will hold for a while. But the Spanish team can use the repeating crossbows to kill down that Oathed cavalry. They do not care about melee defense, they care about exposed backs, and they can deal a lot of damage. So now the Spanish team only need to clear the cavalry from the point C, but more and more infantry is spewing out of the healing zone at C, and pretty much all the points are contested. A is even being captured as the Spanish spears desperately trying to get in. They unrouted and they got in. Now triple swords have been spawned, dogs are incoming as well. Maybe a little bit of overcommitment. Swords would definitely be enough, and the dogs could be used over here on C, but the healing zone over here is just too strong for the Polish team, and Spain is being slowly overpowered by all the infantry that is constantly healing up and respawning over here. Speaking of healing up, now that it will be denied, but the spawning will not. That being said, there is no dead players on the Polish side, so there's nobody to respawn in there. So if the Spanish can reinforce C, they should be able to take it. Now a lot of forces here for the Spanish team being sent to to as quickly as possible just kill the enemies on A, trying to flank them. You're not really going to flank them from the front. No, go around. You have the space to do that. Well, so the contest for A is going to last quite a while, as E has been finally captured for the Polish team. Now this is the Polish team still ahead in points and now ahead in point gain as well. 3.3 per second for them. The Elephants, 2 of them dead. 1, I think they are now recalling to the base. Yep, they didn't recall, so the Elephants need to be put on on E, C and D to prevent the Polish team from getting any points and allowing the Spanish team to get back into the game. The game is still very, very close, less than 200 points away, but the Polish team is also ahead in points and ahead in point gain. So it will be difficult for the Spanish to get back, but they do have the tools to do that. Elephants are extremely, extremely valuable in scenarios like that. But they need to get on top of the points first, and the Polish team is definitely not going to let that happen so easily. Foxmen, very, very good tool to stop Elephants as well with their hamstring, which is 80% slowdown. It doesn't last that long, but if you can put triple Foxmen onto one Elephant, that is definitely going to stop that Elephant essentially in place for the entire battle. Now the repeating crossbows, really the only thing left alive of the Spanish attack. Now they're being forced to run away. Spearmen routed, but an Elephant has made its way on to see where are the other Elephants. Can we spot them? Whatever is going on, why are you going on top of me? That doesn't make any sense. The Spanish team is behind. They need to be aggressive. They need to try attacking. They need to try finding some. They are trying to find the D capture, but the healing zone here for the Polish team is very convincingly played, and they can just heal up over here and send reinforcements over to D. So it will be very difficult for the Spanish to capture D, as the C is quite crucial here on the Rubicon. The Polish team, as it is their map choice, they are definitely aware of that. But now we have 2 points per second gained by the Spanish team, soon to be only 1, but 0 points gained by the Polish team as well. So it is still up in the air who is going to win. But that cavalry, oh yeah, that cavalry is dead. You would need to be that Elephant. Why is it on top of B? God damn it, Spanish team. You can win it, but why do you do that to yourself? This Elephant is going to buy a lot of time. It is being chased by Foxman. Foxman can stop him, but he cannot really deal that much damage to that Elephant. So that Elephant is going to buy a lot of time for the Spanish team by contesting C. D is obviously being contested, possibly capped, but as more and more Polish reinforcements are coming from the side of C, that is possibly not going to go through. Yeah, I think the Spanish team just doesn't have enough melee units in that area to possibly capture D. Instead, they have decided to send multiple melee units onto C. Where are the repeating crossbows? Repeating crossbows are healing up inside the base. They're completely unprotected. They do have dogs over here. That cavalry, another Polish team is launching an attack over to B as the Elephant is leaving. So yeah, they should have just keep an infantry unit over here and send the Elephant to E. Now the Elephant has realized, and well, that is being outmaneuvered. Those foxes need to stop the Elephant. There we go. Hamstring. No? Okay, then don't. Just let the Elephant walk on top of it. I mean, the Elephant should be able to just get on top of it so the B is not captured. Just stomp and walk through. Hamstring is used, but as I said, it won't last for long. There is another hamstring available though, so let's see. Stampede is also available, so it could be used, but maybe it already was. I don't think so though. And B almost flipped, and if it is flipped, it is more points for the Polish team. 2.2 at the moment, flipped 2.6, and every point matters, even if it's 0.4 per second. It definitely does matter, as the Polish team is almost victorious. Only 150 points away. The Spanish team still has 400 points to go, and they're not really getting anything. They can possibly capture C, but given the history, we know how that ends. C is now being captured, but one of the Swordians can get in. Can they be pushed out? They do have spears over here for the Spanish team, 2 units. They can push them out ever so slightly. The Elephant could use a stomp to push them out as well, but it is being used against those Foxmen instead. But the Foxmen didn't make it, and they are being stopped by other Foxmen. So they would need to get in here. And even if the Spanish team could get C, it's still 2.6 points per second for the Polish team. E is now locked, so it cannot be contested. Polish team just 30 points away, and well, it does look like a Polish victory. And to be honest, Spanish team were so damn close with just minor mistakes here and there. Although in this battle I think they honestly have been outdrafted, so kudos to the Polish team. They drafted a better composition, they used that composition's strong points, and well, the Spanish composition's strength is playing from behind, but well, if you're playing from behind, you're not winning as well. So yeah, those offense can only buy you time, but are they going to win you the battle? Not in this scenario, not in this battle in particular. But it was still very, very close. I think it was the single longest battle we have had so far, 29 minutes long, and very, very close, going down to the wire. But well, ultimately the Polish team is victorious, so they are going to advance. They'll take the 4th place in the standings away from the Spanish team, and they will be on 4 points with 1 victory, 1 tie and 2 losses. And the Spanish team is going to be in 5th place with only 3 points, 1 win, 0 ties and 2 losses. But we still have one last round to go. We have France versus Poland, China versus Spain, and Ukraine versus Russia. Ukraine versus Russia is going to be the highlight match of the round because there's 2 almost undefeated teams, Russia with just 1 battle lost to China before. So this is the battle for the 1st place. Whoever wins that match is going to win the group stage and getting preferential treatment in the semi-finals. And I think both of those teams are looking just that much stronger than any other team in the tournament. So whoever they face in the semi-finals, they should be fine. But well, stranger things have happened. So next, France versus Poland and China versus Spain as well. Possibility of all upsets are still up in the air. China, Spain and Poland all still can make it out depending on the results of those 2 battles, 2 matches. And France locked out of the tournament already. They will play 1 last match, but they cannot change anything at this point. And well, Ukraine and Russia obviously already made it out of the group stage, but they will be fighting for the 1st place. So I'll see you there next week. In the meantime, you can help us bring Total Warrior back to the West. And yeah, you already know what to do and how to do it. And until then, I'll see you on Arena's Battlefields Commanders.